What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Boslake. You find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's happening today, buddy?
I was just thinking, I've got a bit of the rasp to my voice today, but I kind of like that, you know, as I get older and wiser.
Some days, dude. Buddy, people can join us live every day at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/the official ITG. But if you can't join us live there, maybe you can join us live over on YouTube at ITG and over on other TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up on today's show, Half-Life 2 gets a second life as it makes its way to VR.
I just want to pause on that one.
Everybody take that one in for a minute. Yeah, Call of Duty beta announcement as well. Xbox looks to expand its cloud service with two of the biggest games, and the MultiVersus hits massive numbers already, and it isn't slowing down. Dude, that's a bigger title than I anticipated coming around.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Keep on your toes.
Absolutely, they got some competition going on now. It's fun to see, that's for sure. Scott, let's get into it. Oh, before we even get there, it is 11 o'clock. You know what that means, Scott?
I do. I happen to know this is exactly when our Spider-Man remaster review comes out. It is now available to watch on YouTube, and I believe our website is running it as well.
Absolutely. InsideTheGame.ca, you can check that out. Corey and Scott reviewed the Spider-Man remastered for PC, so make sure you check that out and help support us. And Scott, let's kick it off as the public beta will be released in September. But where's there it is. This is for Half-Life 2 VR. Dude, I never saw this one coming.
No, I was hoping Valve would work on this one because of the success of Alex, but
sure,
we might get it in another kind of way.
Maybe, right? A project as large and ambitious as Half-Life 2 VR is never truly finished. This is a lot that we still want to know and still want to improve on to make it the best VR experience we possibly can. This comes from actually Half-Life 2 VR's website itself. So keep that in mind. You want to go check that out. You can find the most important areas we are still working on in our roadmap. However, the overwhelmingly positive feedback from our private beta testers over the past few weeks have convinced us that the game, as it is now, can not only be fully completed from start to finish, but it's also very enjoyable to do so. And we wish to give you the opportunity to experience it for yourselves. So go and retrieve your crowbars from storage, and we'll see you soon. Scott, make sure you check out Half-Life 2 VR.com, I believe is the website, and you can go check out, and the beta will be coming in the near future. You can check that one out.
Oh, I have to. I'm looking at the videos we're running now that show it off, and I'm getting flooded with memories of Half-Life 2 and all the different little intricate parts that are going to be amazing to walk through in first person.
Yeah,
it's more crazy. First person manner. And, all the way from City 17, you arrive on that train up to, I know exactly when you would uninstall, and that was we don't go to Ravenholm. If that doesn't give you goosebumps on the back of your neck, you're not quite living.
Yeah, it's definitely Half-Life. Half-Life is one of the series that I've always watched from afar. Man, I hate that. I really wish I could be a part of it. It's just not my style. I can't do it. Too creepy for me. But it's exciting to see.
I'm gonna have to come over there and get you gassed up one day and jump on there.
Dude, it's exciting to see though. My only question is, they gotta have some kind of collaboration going on or permission from Valve, right? Otherwise, I'm just waiting for this to get taken down.
Oh, and that would be so tragic. Unless
Absolutely.
Valve is going to take it down and replace it with their own kind of official means of doing it, then that would be the only acceptable way to me. But it does make sense. You can't always just play with the game, make mods, and sell them. Now, it's unclear if this is going to be sold.
Well, good point, right? Maybe if it's free, it's not so bad. But if it's actually at a price, now Valve's like, hey, you're using our IP, right? And there's Nate right there, joins us over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, just like everybody else can, and says, was life. I miss the franchise. He misses Half-Life, dude. As a whole, the Orange Box came out so long ago. Everybody's looking for something else. Half-Life Alyx was a nice surprise, but not what everybody was hoping for, just because VR does have a barrier of entry to get into, and not everybody has a VR set that's capable of running that beast of a game. Dude, that game looked incredible. I was in it. I gave it a shot. I gave it a shot, and then just like, nope, I'm creeped out. I'm out of here, Scott.
There's so many of those houses with the head crabs that are hidden in objects. That made me jump more than once. You open up a cupboard and it leaps onto your face.
That was it, right? You open this thing. I was like, whoa, I'm out. That was it.
Yeah, nope. You were upstairs having a coffee in 10 minutes.
It absolutely was. Yeah, Nate does say it is restricted, right? Because VR is still somewhat of a niche audience. I get that, right? VR is not for everybody. It's not widespread like PC or even consoles for that matter, where it is absolutely everywhere. VR is growing. It's still not massive. And this is one of those things. You kind of hope for the best. So we'll see what happens. But, dude, let's get into it.
Looks like Nate has tripped the
I
Autobot.
saw that. It's like, whoa, that one caught me off guard a little bit. Yo, let's
he
get
gets a 5-second timeout.
Somebody timed him out over in Twitch. Take that, Nate.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me either. Call of Duty had an announcement this morning for the Modern Warfare 2 beta, as pre-orders are getting ready to open up for the beta early access. Weekend 1 goes to PlayStation exclusive on September 16th to the 17th. Early access for PlayStation, and September 18th to the 20th is the open beta. Weekend 2 crossplay beta is coming on September 22nd and 23rd. Early access to Xbox and PC. Open beta on PlayStation. Into September 24th to 26th goes open beta to all platforms. Scott, you gonna check it out?
I'm going to have to. Yeah, no, this gives me...
It's one of those things, right?
A good idea of when to book time off for work.
That's I'm calling in sick. Goodbye, everybody. Yo, there's
I've
Kyle.
received the call of duty. I must call in.
Yo, Kyle joins us over and says, Half-Life Alyx made me sick, I recall. Dude was... here's Kyle's problem. Here's a story. Side tangent, welcome to ITG Daily. Kyle comes over, we put on my VR headset, he checks it out. Dude is in it for 3 hours, ends on Half-Life Alyx. No kidding, you got sick. Dude, first time in VR, 3 hours go by, he's in VR world.
That'll do it.
Dude, he's down
I remember at about 45 minutes, I started, okay, maybe I should take a break. And then after an hour and 15, I thought, no, now I really do. And I'm more resilient than the average bear, I think.
yeah, you are. You're definitely more resilient than I am. I gotta be careful. But I know that going in, I gotta be very careful as to what games I jump into when it comes to the world of VR, because the movement really does have this disconnect for me when you start walking forward and you physically do not move, right? But virtually you're off and running. I was just like, whoa. So yeah, but Kyle ended there, and dude, he was he's like green looking. I'm like, oh, time for you to go, Kyle.
And some water on the back of the neck, and let's go outside.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny, but dude, let's move on to what Xbox is up to. GTA 5, Elden Ring, and more could be coming to Xbox Cloud Gaming. Cloud streaming is currently exclusive to the Game Pass titles. Yo, this is from Jordan Midler over at I want to say it was VGC.
I think that's VGC.
Yeah, it is VGC, right? Yeah. Several games that aren't a part of Xbox Game Pass may be coming to Xbox Cloud Gaming. As spotted by a Twitter user, the Xbox store pages for GTA 5, Elden Ring, and Soul Hackers 2 have all received Cloud Gaming beta logos. However, when VGC attempted to play the games, we received an error message suggesting that the labels have been applied early or incorrectly. Scott, is Xbox jumping the cloud here a little bit too soon, or is this something we can see in the future? I had to.
You know, that made me think of jumping the shark, and I hope they're not jumping the shark. That's not a good sign. But the idea of playing Elden Ring on cloud, though, that's either going to be very bad or just very scary.
Right? It's one of those things. Now, they've also updated a lot of it too. At Xbox Cloud Gaming, we listen to and value player feedback. You asked for a better iOS experience, and as a result, we have brought major performance improvements to all supported iPhones and iPad devices. It said on an Xbox Wire post earlier this year. So it's one of those things, they are listening to the feedback. Cloud gaming, dude, is It's an innovative step forward for the gaming industry, but you question the latency that happens when you get into that experience of cloud gaming, right? That's the biggest problem. The last thing you want, especially in Elden Ring, is to miss your parry or miss your dodge and you are done.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing a perfect parry playthrough likely on cloud without worry at the very least. I wouldn't be able to do it. And my whole game is don't get hit. That's how I can claim to be good at these games.
Well, you should try it. What is it? Let Me Solo Her? Is that the one that did it? Put them on it and see if they can do the cloud thing and see how that works, right? But again, it all depends on your internet connection, the speed of the time of day, this, that, and the other. There's so many variances that could come into the play of how well this actually works. So it's kind of one of those things like, man, this could work or it could not, because if you're in certain areas like our area, if everybody is on the internet, it kind of just bogs it down a little bit depending on your service, and it's man, oh man.
Yeah, that's a big drag. I really think that cloud gaming is the next logical step in the future. It's going to be a standard eventually, but how long is that going to take, and will it require our entire internet to move on to the next level of internet?
Like G6 or something, right? Like, you know, you get the 5G, whatever. We need is 6G or 7, maybe even 8. I don't know. Like, how's that?
There's so much conspiracy about 5G. We're going to be a little bit nervous jumping up to 12G to make this work.
Dude, just double it and let's go. Give me that high-speed internet where I don't have to worry about downloading stuff and worrying about updates and all that kind of stuff anymore. That's the beauty thing about Stadia. Yo, okay, you ready for this? Dude, I didn't see this coming, but I was in Stadia yesterday.
Really?
I know. I shocked myself. I gotta be honest. But I was there and I just kind of
jump on there for?
I played nothing. Okay, so let me back up.
This is not a commercial.
Clearly, right? No, I just wanted to check out the store and see all the Stadia Pro titles. And dude, there's a ton of them. But again, it's a lot of them that you can find on other platforms, right? And we talk about how the exclusives are the main issue here for Stadia and the draw to come to the platform. The biggest draw for me, though, is the fact that you can literally just jump into the game. Like, it's just a click of a button and away you go, right? But yeah, I didn't have time. I was like, I'm gonna just browse the store. I got like 2 minutes, right? Browse the store, see what's in there, claim a couple things here or there, because I still have Stadia Pro, believe it or not. And it's one of those things I just check it every now and then, going, what could have been? I still have hopes. Do you think Stadia can pull it out?
I think it's a little bit too late now. If they did, it would have to be a complete rebranding, and that's very possible, but it's just seems very unlikely to me. I kind of look at it as what happened with electricity way back with Thomas Edison versus Westinghouse, the AC versus DC. Now, Edison had some good ideas with DC, and he kind of laid the groundwork for what would be a better system, AC, and that's kind of how I see Stadia. They had a great concept, kind of brought it to market, but it just didn't stick in the way it was supposed to.
No, instead now we're getting Xbox Cloud, right? Cloud gaming. I'm waiting. The biggest thing for me is I want to take my whole library to the cloud. I don't want to have just certain games that have access to it. If I purchase a game, I want it to be on the cloud. So that way, if I am out and I'm looking to kind of kill a couple minutes or play something on the go because I'm not at home, maybe I can do that, right? I can just jump into my phone or my iPad. I went on my iPad this morning and I just didn't have time. I wanted to test out, see how the improvements have been evolved into the service. But it is one of those things, dude. It's literally just like a couple clicks and you're in. There is no install. There is no update to wait for. It's just go. And that's the beauty part about it all, right? So the future, I think, is close for it, but it's not quite there just because of latency. It's still such a hindrance to the experience, right?
I still deal with a lot of that on my own console on the internet. I would try to play Fall Guys, and then it seizes up into the frames, and then I can't do it.
Yeah, no.
Imagine if that was Mortal Kombat. There's no way.
No, don't do that to my Mortal Kombat. I tried playing that on the cloud the other day. It worked, but it wasn't perfect, right? Like, it was one of those things. I was just playing against a computer, so it wasn't a big deal. I still won. Dude, let's move over with who's winning right now. It's a MultiVersus. Hits 10 million players. It's still technically an open beta. The free-to-play platform fighter starring Warner Brothers' own characters has drawn quite a crowd. Let's go to Cameron over at GameSpot. MultiVersus hasn't yet left open beta, Kind of reminds me of Fortnite. But that hasn't stopped the Super Smash Bros. Inspired fighter from racking up a massive number of players. According to the stat tracking website tracker.gg, more than 10 million people have tried out MultiVersus in the 2 weeks since the game's open beta launch.
Holy, it's only been 2 weeks and that number is coming in.
Yo, my kids are like grinding this. They've already grinded out the battle pass that was there. There's only 15 levels, and my oldest, even my middle child too, was looking for the new season 1 to come around. They haven't dropped it yet. I think there's a couple technical issues going on with it right now, but yo, they are like,
Yeah,
I got this, I got
delayed.
this guy, I got this character, I got this character, and they're, dude, this is all they play now.
Do you know who they main?
So my oldest is Shaggy, and
that's probably the best choice.
my middle child is kind of he jumps all over the place. So 1 minute he's using Shaggy, next minute he was talking about getting Arya Stark yesterday, but I think he bounced to Bugs Bunny. I think he has Bugs Bunny.
That's the one that's kind of crazy to me. Arya Stark in that game is probably the most mature character I could have pictured. And
yeah,
I like to play Finn.
Do you? Oh,
yeah.
Man. Right now, I'm still playing Batman. I'm Batman. So I can't help it. It's just the way it goes.
I've got the voice for it today.
You too. Well done. Yeah, it's I'm not a Smash Brothers player, but I'm having fun playing this. I'll play a couple matches and then I'm like, okay, I'm good, and bounce out. But it is one I often think about and kind of go, man, they've really kind of taken this one by surprise for me.
You know, Nate has an interesting question here. Do you think that moving forward, fighting games will take the free-to-play approach? And I think that's very likely, actually. My first reaction was, no, how are they going to sell you that? But we're living in the world of loot boxes, battle passes, and cosmetics. It's absolutely doable.
I think it's easily doable. I think Nate's onto something. I think this could be the future of fighting games. How do you get a bigger community? You go free to play. You're already gonna have the hardcore there, dude. The next Mortal Kombat, right? Mortal Kombat 12 goes free to play. I would buy it regardless, but if it's free to play and then they launch new characters and then you buy the battle pass for that and then you buy this, like I wonder if NetherRealms is looking at this concept for the next Mortal Kombat and going, hey, or what about Street Fighter for another game?
That
right?
gives me a worry. Nate touched on the worry there. They'll sell us characters and skins. Oh,
dude,
no.
They already do. Think about
That's
it, right?
True.
That's not something
that was the running gag at that was number 11. I think you guys looked at, right?
Dude, well, yeah, we looked at 11, right? But dude, so I bought the expansion pass, I bought the character packs with it, and I bought the other skins to go. Dude, I have everything in that game because I paid for it all. I'm already invested in that game. So you go free to play, I'm still gonna buy whatever you drop. Like that's just, I'm a Mortal Kombat guy, right? I grew up with that franchise. I love that franchise. As silly, over the top the finishers are and stuff like that.
Oh, that's what makes it though.
it is, right? A Mortal Kombat game isn't a game without the finishing moves. So it's one of those things. But but only a few characters, not half the roster. I'm telling you, they still need to bring us a Mortal Kombat Ultimate Edition.
Well, the thing is, actually, I was talking with a friend about that. There was one way back, I think in the mid 2000s, that had 70 characters, something like that.
There was. I do recall that one, but that was so long ago. I want a new one, right? Like we're now definitely in a whole other realm of technology and what's available for us. So, how big we're gonna
merge Injustice with it?
Oh, but the problem is you can't do finishing moves on Injustice characters, right? They don't have that in there at all, which is really disappointing. I know, but I want. I could really. Yeah, that'd be so cool. Honestly, I could see them if they don't do it with Mortal Kombat 12. I think they look at it for the next game at least, for sure. Right, I think that's when it comes out. Absolutely goes free to play because everybody's kind of stepping into that model and it's selling more than it ever has. So if they bring out MultiVersus and charges us, say, $30, $40, I think it does well, but it doesn't do gangbusters. Like my kids are playing it because it's free, right? And now they're going, I want the battle pass. So all of a sudden now because they're in on the game and invested in the game, they're in it because it's free, but then now they're going to buy the battle pass at the same time because I love this game. But if you got to pay for it, I think it puts up a bit of a barrier for a lot of people, and they're just not going to do it. So, dude, I think there's big movement on it. But Scott, just like that, dude, Whew, time is flying, man. just, just like we do have a couple things I want to get to. Do we have time? Let me take a look. Hang on, I'm just looking. Scott, what are you playing today? More Spider-Man?
You know,
We can talk
I'm
about it,
pretty
dude.
certain I have to go back to Spider-Man now. Oh, man, that game is just, it hit me right in the spot that Spider-Man 2 left
Dude, I'm so
when I
excited.
was but a child.
I'm so excited you actually got to play it, right? Because I know you're an Xbox guy, not able to get a PlayStation yet, so you haven't been able to get into that Spider-Man realm or verse or whatever you want to call it now at this point. But it's so
The
exciting.
Spider-Verse.
The Spider-Verse.
I've been able to enter the Oh, why didn't I think of that for an intro?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited you got there. But what do we have here? We do have a couple minutes. Okay, let's talk on it real fast. You ready? I want to get into this one because this is a weird one here. Battalion 1944 breaks rank with Square Enix. Kickstarter backers to be refunded. Busted back down to private. What the heck is going on here with Square, man? I think that's the biggest question for me. Well, it's official. Multiplayer World War II shooter Battalion 1944 won't be coming to PS4 after all. Bulkhead Interactive announced the news on Twitter. Here's what their Twitter page announcement had to say. We have formally ended our relationship with Square Enix. We want to start this exciting new chapter where we began, focusing on the players. With this in mind, we will be releasing Battalion Legacy free on Steam.
Oh,
we are deeply disappointed that Battalion 1944 never made it to console, and we'll be refunding all console Kickstarter backers. Thank you to everyone that backed the console version, and we're sorry it has taken so long to rectify this. We appreciate the passionate support we received from the fans in Battalion and old school shooters. Dude, that's a little disappointing. I wonder what the heck's going on over there right now with Square Enix. Square Enix is a little bit of a funny company at this moment, and doing a lot of moves.
I'm wondering if this is legal. It's just lost in the legal kind of fray of what's going on with Square Enix overall.
Well, they seem to be downsizing, right? Like they're getting rid of a lot of their Western developers. We saw them sell them off to Embracer Group, which is kind of a head scratcher. But at the same time, they're really kind of going in on JRPGs is really where they seem to be focused on. That's a big thing. I think
their reasoning was that they were flooding their own. They were kind of drowning out their own releases.
Maybe, right? But the same, I don't know, man. Have you seen Ubisoft? Just saying. like that's
that's the counterpoint to end all counterpoints, actually.
I'm just like, there's an opportunity. Ubisoft does it all the time, but you've also seen them stumble and struggle as of late too, right? But it's one of those things.
Yeah,
it's just, man, I don't know what Square's up to lately. I'm really curious as to what the future of Square Enix looks like. We've also heard rumblings that PlayStation looks to be maybe inquiring Square Enix as well. So yeah, the future's a little up in the air.
I hope that gives them just the stability.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose much out of Square Enix. I don't really want them to change very much, but I just want it to remain stable.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott, we do have a couple new game announcements today too. What do we have?
We have Ikone Island, taking inspiration from titles like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. Ikone Island, and I hope I'm pronouncing that properly.
I think you are, actually. I heard the YouTube video.
Earthlock Adventure. I try with these Eastern names. I really give it an attempt, but it adds a compelling exploration, resource gathering, crafting, and customization system with a host of fun gameplay ideas that give this colorful title its own twist. Befriending local wildlife and their unique abilities to help you access new areas of the island offers a compelling exploration mechanic, unlike anything we've seen in the genre before.
Dude, I want it.
This could be quite interesting. It sounds kind of like a combination of Ooblets and Stardew Valley.
All right, Scott, you have 15 seconds. Go.
We have, I'm going to try and run through this one. Sunday Gold, Team 17 and BKOM Studios, in collaboration with CMF, have today announced dystopian adventure Sunday Gold will be coming to PC on the 13th of September this year.
Looks cool too.
Combining stylish comic book style art and animation inspired by a visual concept developed at artist Volta, intricate turn-based combat, and noggin-scratching puzzles.
There we go.
Intra-comps players into the bleak 2070s London. You know, that sounds interesting. I like
It sure does. Everybody, that's it for us today. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily. I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you tomorrow inside the game.